into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. I want to welcome you to Community Impact. We've got, as you can see around me, a little bit of a new look going. We've got a new program that we're working with. We're working with Things Network actually right now, trying to come up with the right fit for all of us. We kind of all do the same thing, just different subjects all the time. So we're looking for the best one, and we're going to be working a lot more with Things Network. Stay tuned. There's some great things that are going to be coming out of that. Fun show today because we are going to be a little bit all over the board, but the great thing about it is it all comes back to one thing, and that's all coming together. Okay? Podcasting for all coming together, pACT channel, pACT. And we're making an impact, and that's what we're here to do. Hey, I want to, you're going to be meeting him here real quickly. Amin Janou, okay? A little bit difficult for me to say. Amin Janou is a brand new partner of ours. He just joined with us. There's a couple things that that I learned in this interview, and one of them is so very important because he has also become part of the Miracle program. So you're going to be seeing him on the Miracle program. He's going to be taking part in the Miracle program. And the great thing about what he went through is he grew up with one parent Muslim and another parent Christian. And as I say in this interview, this is perfect because it shows we can do this. Let's be honest here. Muslim and Christian, that's not exactly like saying, you know, well, I'm Buddhist and you're Christian. You know, these are two religions that historically have not seen eye to eye. But there was love in this family. There was a lot of love in this family, and you're able to tell by this interview with this young man. He is fun, he's fantastic, and he's a really good guy. And he is now a silver partner with us on Community Pay It Forward program. What is the Community Pay It Forward program? We run a little thing called Shop, Click, and Pick. It's all about shopping with our partners, and then you pick where money's going to go. People ask us for help. You shop. You find somebody who touches your heart. You pick them. Click a picture of the receipt, send it to us, and they get a portion of what you just shopped for. So it's called Shop, Click, and Pick. And then right after that, we've got our brand new friend, Amin Janou. Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful. Hey everybody, we're here with a brand new silver partner, and we could not be more excited than to welcome our friend Amin Janou. How are you doing today? And welcome to the family.
I'm doing very good. We are getting a little bit cold here up
Yep.
here. It's fall. The colors are beautiful, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What
You
about yourself?
yeah, we're doing good. It's actually it warmed up to 56. We dropped into the 30s. Of course that's Fahrenheit, but we dropped into the 30s last night. So it was
Probably
bit
sitting at 37 to 40 right now.
Yeah, yeah. It was a bit chilly. It was a bit chilly when I let the dogs out this morning, but that's just meaning that, we're coming to the end of another year,
Yeah.
which means something very, very important to you and what you do. Um, I would like to ask you first, today has special meaning for you in your business. Can you tell us what you do and what today is?
Yes, that's correct. Today is our special meeting because it's actually the second day of open enrollment. We all know about open enrollment is that 2 month of the year where people can actually start shopping around for a new health insurance coverage for the next 12 months. That doesn't really affect what I do. The open enrollment doesn't affect, but it's a good timing where people are more, I would say, open to actually listen, and then they open their eyes for the next 12 months and see what can be done for in terms of health coverage. So basically what I do, I work with a non-for-profit organization based out of Florida, and we do health sharing. Health sharing, it's an alternative to traditional health insurance. The benefit of health sharing is, first, we don't have any open enrollment. I know it's the open enrollment period, but with the program itself, there is no open enrollment. Somebody, client members, I don't even call them clients, I call them members. They join our program, and today, which is October 16th, and they get coverage starting on the next month, November 1st, and then that's all throughout the year. So somebody could come in at February 14th on Valentine's Day and then get covered starting on March 1st. So that's the benefit. And more than that, it's also because it's a non-for-profit, it allows our members to have affordable health care and also better care. First, why is it affordable? It's non-for-profit. So all the money collected, all the premium paid from a member would go towards paying their medical bills. That's the only motive, paying medical bills. You might agree with me that right now the healthcare system in the U.S. Is broken. Healthcare is number one reason why people get bankrupt, and then it shouldn't. And then that'll fall probably into how I got into this, and it started almost 20 years ago. Wow, it's already 20 years ago. I used to be a registered nurse, and I worked in the field. I was a young registered nurse, full of energy, worked in a neurosurgery unit. So people would come in, usually for brain tumors, from epilepsy, from, spines injuries, uh, all that. So
TBIs.
say again?
Yeah, TBIs,
TBIs, yeah,
accidents. Yep, yep.
accident. So I saw people come in, and slowly they would, you slowly would get worse and worse, and then you could see the emotional toll, the physical toll, definitely the medical toll, but also the financial toll. When you spend days and days in the hospital, you might be when you leave, if you do leave, you might be in shock when you get that medical bill. So I worked for a couple of years, and I was just it was just not for me at that time. The mental toll, the emotional toll was a lot on me.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, Phil. I really my hand goes up to the nurses, the doctors, because they're doing a very good job. I mean, they're heroes without a cape, and then they deserve, all what they're doing. They're working hard, but it was just not for me. I was not emotionally ready. And then I left the field and I went into my legal practice, which I love doing, but I was still wanted to help people um, have an impact. Right now I have an impact on my client, and then they love what I'm doing. I hope they love what I'm doing, but I still wanted to have a larger impact, and I still had that healthcare space in mind. And then a couple of years ago, when a business partner of mine introduced me to this program, which is health sharing, it just made sense. And then for me, it was like, oh, this is the answer to people's need. This is really like an answer where people would actually save on their medical bill. But more than that, is to have access.
You
Having access it's number one. You told me you had an accident. You were able to have access to that, and that you would probably cover and had good coverage at the time. But some people are not that lucky, and they're not in
yeah.
in large
Oh yeah. Yeah.
urban
You know,
city. Go ahead.
it is, I mean, one of the things that we have a lot of people come to us is because they didn't have adequate insurance, and they had only liability or whatever it is, and they don't realize how little, when they sign up for it, how little that covers, little to basically nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Um, and so they end up with a lot of trouble. Um, you are in and cover both Canada and the United States. What is the difference when you talk to residents in Canada to residents in the United States? What are the difference when it comes to let's just call it the sales pitch?
Mhm.
How do you approach each person?
Yeah. So the program itself, it's a US based program. As I mentioned, it's based out of Florida. So it's all for all the US resident and obviously US citizen. So it allows somebody from, let's say, Vermont or from Florida to, it could be traveling across the country to, let's say, Colorado, and then goes down a ski hill and then, end up breaking up an ankle or a wrist. That person will have access to an hospital in Colorado, not having to fly back. And then that person won't have to worry about is the doctor, is the anesthesiologist, is the hospital in network. So the pitch itself is for US resident, you won't have the freedom to have access to any network, or because there's no network, to have access to any medical providers out there in case you need. That will be the speech. It's the freedom of freedom of choice, basically. There is no, you're not tied to any network. Freedom of choice. But more than freedom of choice, when US members are traveling outside of the US, one thing that you mentioned is have access. We have a pretty robust emergency plan. When somebody from the US is traveling abroad and is into an emergency, that person in that country would have also could use and then be covered with that with our program, even if it's outside of the US. Now, for Canadians, it's a little bit different. For Canadian, because it's a US-based program, the Canadian would be for people that are, they might want to get away from the cold in Canada, and then they want to spend a few months in some of the southern states, Texas, Florida, California, you name it. And then those people usually they buy a property, probably a condo, in a condo unit, and then just they stay there for a couple months. And then those people usually during those time, for 3 months, if anything happened to them, they might have access to some of the travel insurance, but those travel insurance are just limited in time frame, or they might be just limited in coverage. With our program, it's a comprehensive program. So you need in hospital care, you need at a hospital, you need any medical provider, you would have access to them. For Canadians, a little bit different. For Canadians, I would ask them, first, do you have a passport to be able to travel to the US? Second, do you have a US bank account? Usually they would, because usually if they have, properties in the US, they have to pay property tax, they have to pay HOAs, they have to have a
Oh yeah.
so they would have a bank account. So those would be mostly for people who are traveling. And also, even if you're not traveling, or if you're not living, but if you're staying for a long stay, like truckers, truckers that travel across the country, that go international between Canada and the US, those people are also, they would have access to that program. So depending on who I talk to, it's always the question, do you want to have the most basic question, do you want to have the freedom to go anywhere? And then do you want a program that's affordable? People would say yes to those questions, and they would have they'd be more than open to come onto our program.
Here comes the question, the dreaded question that I'm going to ask you. We have got elections coming up here in the US. There's also elections coming up in Canada. Are there any candidates out there, and we're not asking for an opinion, everybody can make their own opinions, so this isn't going after anybody. This is a simple question. Are there any candidates that are pushing at changes that will come, that will affect what you're bringing to people?
Yeah. From the Canadian side, I don't think so. No candidate would change anything because it's US. But from the US side, we have the two candidates, Harris, Trump, and then their approach to healthcare is different. On one side, they want to have more caps and control over medication. On the other side, they want more privatization. I don't think we change anything, to be honest, because we, and I don't want to be politically here. I just want to, I'm just looking down the facts here. Our program became more popular after Obamacare, when they had access to the Obamacare. So people would actually look into more different options to be able to save on to have more affordable programs. And we know what happened during the 4 years that Mr. Trump was president. It didn't change much of the Obamacare. Is it going to change anything else? I don't think so necessarily, but I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't really tell.
Right.
But that being said, to be honest, I don't think it would, because people are more and more open. People are tight. When you're tight, people are probably they're more open to look into, how can I save a buck? How can I save? And then healthcare after mortgages, after rent, is #1 expense. People are, I don't think it would change much, to be honest. I don't think so.
And I mean, here's the reason I asked that question. Okay, I know that there are a lot of people who are really, really hesitant on making any changes right now, because the future is so, because the race is close, and they're afraid to make any changes that they're going to come to find out in the future, oh my God, I made the wrong choice here. And now, because I made that change, I'm in a different position. And that's the reason why I asked that question, is I just, I didn't think that we were in a situation, whereas one of the candidates has not come out with a substantial health care plan, good or bad, whatever. I wanted to make sure that, that people understood that, look, there's high doubt that any of this will change. So that's the whole reason I came up with that. I appreciate you not putting anything political behind it. It's just a fact.
Yeah, just a fact. To be honest, I don't think, the program I'm offering, it's an alternative to traditional health insurance. But I don't think tomorrow is going to change the healthcare system. The reason why is we need health insurance, healthcare insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We need healthcare insurance specifically for anyone that's in a very has a lot of medical history, has need to go a lot to a doctor. We need those. I'm not saying that we're going to get rid of health insurance. We still need health insurance.
Yeah. Oh,
What
yeah.
I'm saying is, for people that are healthy to fairly healthy, and the people that are more tight, you might want to consider as another option also. And the benefit of a program, especially in groups, it's that it allows. I don't know if you know Cobra. Cobra, it's when somebody lose their job, and then they have to pay into health insurance, healthcare insurance during that period that they're in between two jobs. So, with our program, it could help those people that are in Cobra if they're looking in between two jobs. But to be honest, I don't think our program is gonna change profoundly the way health care works, but it's not gonna get rid of health insurance. Health insurance has a lot of necessity. It's necessary. It's a necessity.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's going to lead to my next question. You mentioned that you are a tax attorney, and now you are slowly making the transition to something that affects your taxes, which is healthcare. You do get, you do get tax advantages with healthcare and everything like that. It does, your healthcare benefits do show on your tax returns. So, and does this show on your tax returns the same as traditional insurance?
Yes and no. Yes, in certain instance. If you have how can I say it? If you have, it states based first, and then second is federally based. I'm just gonna go federally because every state is different, obviously. But federally speaking, if you are how can I say it? On the personal side, on the personal return, it's not deductible. Not like a HSA, a high saving account. It would not be deductible from your personal return, basically. On the however, if it's a group, when I mean a group, it could be a corporation, it could be a LLC, it could be a
C Corp.
a C Corp, any type of organization that provide health benefit, not only a healthcare, it could be a health benefit, it could be how do you call it? It could be any type of group benefit, 401ks, retirement benefit. When the employer, makes a contribution towards your premium, that will be deductible for the corporation and the employer. So in that sense, on a personal level, basically on a personal level, no, it would not. But on the corporate level, where you have your employer providing the benefit to the employees, it would be a deduction that could use it towards reducing their taxes.
Okay, but if you do not have insurance, you do get penalized, correct?
Yes.
So, but
in certain states,
this will keep you from being penalized.
yes. In one of my client that was actually based in California. California is one of the states that would penalize you if you don't have any type of health
I
coverage.
believe Colorado is too.
With Colorado, yeah. So in that case, we confirm that with the local accountant that health sharing, like our program, would not be penalized.
Okay.
It's considered like insurance. It's not insurance, but it would not be penalized. So it's a great alternative to health insurance, and then you still get the perks and not be penalized on the state level.
I mean, you let's talk a little bit about you. You obviously don't sound like a regular Montreal resident, and you have an accent that's a little heavier than most Vermontians.
Yes.
So, can you tell us where is your lineage from? Where did you migrate from?
I
Immigrate.
I was born and raised, partially raised in France. So I
So
speak.
you do have the Montreal in you.
Yeah, I do have the Montreal in me, yes, and I did live in Montreal, and I still have my mom is in Montreal actually,
Yeah.
and so I do speak French fluently. I learned English late in life. When I moved to actually before I go there, I was born in France, raised in Cameroon. It's a Central African country. Probably people know Nigeria. I'm
Mhm.
next to Nigeria. It's actually east of Nigeria. And I learned English at a late age because I was raised in Cameroon, then raised in France, spoke a lot of French, sorry. And I moved to, my parents at one point decided to move to Canada. That's where when I moved to Canada, I realized that in Canada, I was in Montreal, which is a French-speaking city, sorry. And I realized I'm surrounded by English-speaking people. I must learn English. So what I did, I went to Alberta and I spent 2.5 years there, and that's where I picked up English. That's where I still have that French accent, but not that strong. And I still don't have that. People, when they speak French or even English, they probably wonder where my accent comes from because I don't have the strong French accent. I don't have the strong African accent. I don't have the US accent. I have a mixed accent, basically.
Well, you know what? Here's the important question. Are you a Canadians fan?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. I
we all
know, I
can't be
know, I know.
perfect. We all can't be perfect, okay? But but
So
but
I'm
but
guessing you are the Colorado
I am
person.
not. I'm actually a New Jersey Devils fan. I'm a lifelong New Jersey Devils, before that Colorado Rockies, and even before that Kansas City Scouts fan. So I've been following the team since they were the Kansas City Scouts.
Are
So
you
yeah,
are
yeah.
you born and raised in Colorado or New Jersey?
My history is a little bit weird. I was born in New Jersey, went to Germany for the first 3 years of my life, lived in Colorado, Kansas, and now I've been back in Colorado for 20, 30. Oh my God. Here we go. Exactly what you just happened to you earlier.
Mhm.
34 years I've been back in Colorado. So
Okay.
I've lived the majority of my life here in Colorado, but yeah,
Yeah.
so you're you've been around a lot of places. Did that have anything to do with your faith? Were there a lot of like
You-
missionary reasons, or was there anything to do with the faith with a lot of the travel?
The road travel has nothing to do with my faith, but has to do with my motives or my volunteering work that I've done. And I'll explain why. First, I'll start with my faith. Amin is an Arabic name. The reason it was Arabic name because my dad was Muslim. I say was because he passed 9 years ago, and rest in peace. And my mom was a Christian. She was a Christian, so I grew up in both faiths. And eventually, as I grew up and I became an adult, I decided to give my life to the Lord and Savior Jesus, because I was just in a place where I was able to compare the two religion, and I felt more connected with the Christian faith, and that helped. And also, probably the travel also because I lived in Cameroon. Cameroon is basically 50-50, so Muslim, Christian. I grew up in the two faith, Muslim and Christian. France was most obviously more Christian, French, and Canada also more Christian, but it had nothing to do necessarily with my faith. It's just I married a wonderful wife, um, and she was a God-fearing woman. She brings a lot of peace to I'm born in May, so I'm a Taurus. I'm very goal
Very
oriented.
strong.
She brings a lot of peace and calm, and then she helped me with my walk towards Christ, and then that's where I found my peace, and that's where my faith come. She helped me a lot to be grounded and be peaceful.
You know, my wife is pretty much the exact same thing. She brings me a lot of peace and calm as long as I agree with what she says. If not, she's redneck and she'll make me
Yes,
agree to what
yeah,
she says. So
yes, yes,
she'll
boss.
allow me to be peaceful as long as I'm doing what I'm told to do. So
Yes,
uh
yes.
but hey, I mean, was
And I
there any, yeah, please.
and then I wanted to add something about my travel. You know, I said something about my travel. My travel helped me a lot for what I love to do outside of what I'm doing,
Mm,
which is helping people through legal advice or helping with healthcare. I love helping kids. I came from a family of six. I'm the number four. I have three older sisters, one younger brother, one younger sister. I'm number four. So I always love being around kids. And then everything I've done, every type of volunteering work was always around kids. Either being a big brother to a big brother, big sister program, either, raising money for hungry kids that want to play hockey, uh, kids that can, kids that can afford 3 meals a day. So it was always around kids. And finally, the Lord gave me two boys at a late age, but there's no age to be a parent, to be a dad. And those two boys are very, very wonderful. I love them, and everything I do, it's always surrounded around kids. For me, kids are the next generation. Whether it's you know leukemia, I help leukemia hungry kids, kids that wanted to get into sports. I was a big brother for a big sister. I actually uh, supervise kids and then manage a summer camp. So those helped me because I was always surrounded by kids, and in Africa, it's all family oriented, and everything I do, it's always surrounded by around kids.
You know, I mean, you also, as along with joining the community Pay It Forward family, you're also a sponsor of the Miracle. And this is just from me to you. I think that you are so perfect for what we're doing in a Miracle, because your parents did something that, and you have the experience in something that a lot of people don't think can happen. There was that religious divide in the household, and you were held together. You obviously are a well-adjusted individual. You're a wonderful, wonderful person trying to help people. See, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing a Miracle, is to show people that we don't have to be the same to be the same. We the kids out there, caring for kids is so important. Making sure that they have a chance, that way they have a chance. Making sure that there are options out there. So I am so excited about what you're going to bring to the Miracle. I think that coming from both sides, the Muslim side, the Christian side, your faith, and your history, I think it's going to be wonderful, because you can show people that, look, this is possible. And I appreciate that so very much, and I think that we're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Thank you for introducing me to this program. And then I'm looking forward to participating. I'm looking forward to see how I can bring my input, and then bring my the fact that I travel. I actually lived in three different continents also, and then I was able to be exposed to so many different ethnicity. And then I hope that, from what I understand, the program, the event itself is going to be, it's a very inclusive program, and I think having me on the team would help, and I'll do everything that I can to help grow
I
the
greatly appreciate
event.
it. I mean, how do people get a hold of you?
They could get a hold of me in different ways. First, I want to thank you, Zach, for putting the website together. There's a lot of information on the website, the email. jk@gmail.com by phone. I have a phone number in Vermont and also one in Quebec. So they could have access to those phone number. And I also have a link where they could book a time. What I love to do is doing this interaction for 30 minutes, get to know the person. Obviously you're going to find my website, you're going to find a lot of information. What I find with website is just information. What I like to do is communication. I like to communicate with people. I'm a communicator. So I'm more than welcome to spend half an hour getting to know the person, getting to know what's important to them, because it's all about what's important to you. Is it your family time? Is it your when I say family, it would be your parents or your kids. It could be a vacation. It could be anything. What's important to you? And then I hope that I could help them and meet them where and help them with what's important to them.
And one of the things that you're going to see about Amin is he can also help you as a bill negotiator. They can help reduce your bills by negotiating for you. So you can look into that. You're going to find Amin's profiles listed below. Please go in the information. Please go and visit. And you know what? If you're sick and tired of the standard insurance practices and all the hoops and loops and jumps you have to do through insurance, maybe this is the alternative you've been looking for. What's it going to hurt to give him a call for 30 minutes? Obviously, you get to talk to a wonderful man, and maybe he can help you find the right program for you. Make your life a lot easier because it's more to understand. Please visit his landing page on our website, communitypayitforward.us. Just type in up top, Amin, and it's going to pop up. You can go visit his page, and there's a place that you click, and it's going to take you right to his calendar so you can set up an appointment with him.
Yeah.
Amin, my friend, welcome to the team once again. Welcome to the family. And thank you so very much.
Well, Zach, I want to thank you for having me on the team. Thank you for introducing me to the team. Thank you for taking the time to share the community, taking the time with me, because over the last couple of weeks, I was traveling, busy, and then you allowed me to do to give me the time, and I appreciate, and I'll help grow the community as much as I can also.
We truly do believe, I tried to make sure that every time that I contacted you, my first concern was with your family. I know that you ended up having a sick young one, and that's more important to me than all the other things. But making sure that we're there for someone else's sick little one is so important to me and yourself. And you've already said that. So I am so happy to have you on board.
I appreciate, and then you definitely appreciate you checking on my little one, which is sometimes driving me crazy now, but he's doing fine.
Hey, you know what? They don't stop, buddy. I've got one that's 30 years old and one that just turned 22. So, yeah, they don't stop driving you crazy, but you know what? You never look at them without a smile on your face,
Oh,
knowing that everything good about you is standing in front of you. So, I love
yes,
my boys so much. My kids are it's the greatest thing I've ever done. So, it's a
I
wonderful journey you've started, even though it was a little bit later.
it's never late. It's in God's timing.
That'll work.
It'll work.
So, all right. This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle. Join us from December 24th to December 26th, and let's make this season unforgettable for everyone. That is coming up right around the corner. I mean, we are just, well, look at your calendar. You know, it's just right around the corner. I mean, there's no other way to say it. December is almost here. If you want to find out more about the miracle, you can go to this QR code right here, and you can become part of the QR code. Speaking of the QR code, and I probably should have planned this a little bit better, so please give me a second as I'm going to just kind of announce this right now before I've even really studied it. We have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful author, children's author, who has joined us, and she is donating 3 of her children's books and a virtual author visit. Okay, here's what we're going to do. You can get these 3 books. Okay, she will send you, Maggie Van Galen will send you the books. What I've asked Maggie to do is record reading these 3 books. The winner of the event is going to be the sponsor of Maggie reading these books on the show. So businesses, this is a chance for you to get involved by bidding on this. What we're going to do is we're going to be selling tickets for $20, and then we're going to draw a name on December 21st. The winner will be announced on December 21st on who is going to sponsor Maggie. This is a way for us for you to help us make sure that we get this show on there. Folks, we still need to get a lot of things going, all right? It looks like we've got our wonderful studio figured out. It looks like we're going to be going with this program and be able to run our show from this program, because so far we haven't had a lot of issues since the first show. But we're starting to get it figured out. Now we need to get a few other things that are needed. One of them being a translation program, okay? And these translation programs are not cheap. Your $20 donation, not only will it go to help us put this show on, it will help make sure that kids around the world are going to be able to hear Maggie Van Galen read these books, talk to Santa Claus, say hello to people that they love all over the world, and for us to understand what they're saying to the people that they love all over the world. This really gives us a chance to reach out, hold each other's hands, and take part in each other's lives. The miracle is something brand new, but something that can be very, very, very important. It has come time of the show where we get to talk to 2 of my favorite people in the world. We get to talk to Daniel Hodges and this wonderful lady, Angela, as we talk about common sense access. Whoever said ignorance is bliss never ran a business. Did you know the vast majority of businesses don't make their products accessible to people with disabilities? And did you know that the collective buying power of people with disabilities is over $2 trillion? And if you're a business owner, you need to know how to make your business accessible so you're not leaving this money on the table. I want to tell you about my family partners at Real Life Access, who can help you connect with this underserved market. Real Life Access clients experience three amazing things. First, a reputation for accessibility that brings customers to your door. Second, a freedom of worry about legal consequences from not being ADA compliant. And third, increased revenue. Real Life Access team members offer common sense accessibility solutions which won't break your budget. These are business people who understand the challenges faced by all small businesses. They are also people with disabilities who know what it takes to be accessible. Check out their courses, coaching packages, and so much more at reallifeaccess.com. You'll be glad you did.
What are we waiting for?
Okay, so we're still getting used to this new programming, but hey, everybody, welcome to Common Sense Access. My name is Zak Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. I am here today with my two great friends, Angela Fowler and Daniel Hodges. Due to technical throw-ups, I guess is the best way to put it, Daniel is joining us with audio only. Thanks to, the atmosphere, the internet's funky. I guess that's the best way to put it, right, guys? Is the internet's funky. So
the internet is the internet.
So
I am currently based in East Texas, where there's good internet all around where I live, but not where I live.
I've been in places where computers work everywhere but where I am. And my sons have no problem telling me, Dad, that is your fault. So, my sons have no problems telling me that computer issues are mine, my blame. So,
Zach, anytime you hear the acronym pACT, you've been insulted.
What? Let's go ahead and expound on that. What?
pACT means problem exists between chair and computer.
Okay. All right. So, hey, we want to begin by expressing our condolences and well wishes to everyone who's being affected by all of this terrible, terrible weather going on out there. And Community Pay It Forward and Pieces of Me and Real Life Access wants you to know that if there's anything that we can do, please reach out to any of us or all of us, and we will do whatever we can to help you out. We are here to help everyone. Make sure that that help is accessible for everyone. So, Angela, let's start with you. Can you please give us an introduction to yourself and Real Life Access?
I would, and before I jump into that, I just want to second what Zach says. When you're sitting out in California or wherever we are, it's hard to truly appreciate the devastation going on elsewhere. But I've listened to a few people describe it, and it's a terrible thing. So our thoughts and prayers and all that good stuff, and thoughts and prayers are never enough. But at any rate, I'm Angela Fowler. I'm the founder and CEO and everything else of Real Life Access, and we basically we teach people how to make things accessible, one human being at a time. We teach accessibility one human being at a time, and that's really the only way to do it. One company at a time, one human being at a time.
Angela, when we do programs like our upcoming Miracle program, the one thing that we always tell people is, we're trying to help that first person because you can't help the second one until you help the first. Is that kind of the way that you see it with real life access?
If I can teach one small business how to become accessible, that small business is going to be a role model for other small businesses.
That's
It
wonderful.
it really is about the human connection. It's about showing people why it is so important for things to be accessible. The advocacy movement, I love you guys. I really do. But the advocacy, you guys sometimes have a messaging problem. Because what happens is the advocacy movement talks about the law, and they talk about discrimination, and they give you the message that if you're not accessible, you're discriminating against people with disabilities. And I think we need to stop using that type of we just need to stop. Just stop. Because nobody's out there trying to discriminate. Nobody wakes up and goes, how can I make the blind girl's life miserable today? I know what. I just won't put an alt tag on that image. I'll just whip up a bunch of JavaScript and we don't need to bother with ARIA. Heck with those screen readers. Nobody's saying that. Come on. Nobody's saying that.
And I think one great example of that, Angela, is when we attempted to record this the other day, I played a video, and I never want to exclude anybody. And I realized when